Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello to everyone out there. Some candy. So pardon me on that. It's early in the morning here, so you got to get your sugar in as soon as possible. Have a little bit of breakfast, but anyways, welcome to the second hangout for the month of July. Lots of things have been happening. Lots of great things. Had an awesome, fabulous week at WPC for all the partners that were out there. Thanks for stopping by the booth. Thanks for all you all are doing. Had a ton of announcements to come out. Huge things. It's kind of funny because I'm like super excited right now about. I'm always excited. I'm always excited to be doing a hangout. So that's one of the cool things. But really excited. I mean, just what we did at WPC was amazing, and something that for me will go down in history as one of those things that it was a good launch for what's happening this year. If you see me dodging the light, the sun, I'm actually right in front of a window and the sun's like super bright. I'm trying to not have that glare on me. But anyways, I'm super excited. Welcome to the Hangout. Wanted to do a quick review of some of the things that was announced at WPC for partners and customers so that you are about that. Pardon me while I try to finish this. If you ever had a ginger chew, you know how good it is. Super good. But yeah, let's see if I can find that really quick. Give myself some time to chew. All right, here we go. Alrighty. So give me 1 second. One of the really cool things. So not sure if you ever heard of Jeff Teeper. He's a corporate VP of Microsoft's SharePoint and OneDrive. Awesome. He was actually a part of our day for our partners to see him kind of lay out what Microsoft's actually doing, what their approach is to a few things, and how Nintex kind of aligns with that. He also talked about Microsoft Flow. I'm sure most of you all have heard about that by now, and how Flow is the really interesting thing about it. A lot of people, if you actually dive into it, you'll notice that it does some pretty basic workflow test type things. It is similar to what if you were using if or so if then this then that, or if this then that. So if, or if you're using Zapier or Zuko or something like that, you can kind of do this base logic of, hey, a document comes in, send an email, or if this, do this, so send it to an approver, else send it to here. So it does some basic logic. But when you want to do the robust things, one of the things that that Tifa pointed out, and something that was really great, was if you want to do some more robust things, then obviously that's where Nintex comes into play. So, and we're working on, I'm actually looking at doing some things where we can have a flow kickoff workflow from Nintex. So some of those things are in place. So bear with us, bear with me on that. But that was some really good things. Something else to note about something I want to share with you all, just some quick things that was really cool, huge highlights. We've had over 1,000 new SharePoint customers. So if you want to think, how's Nintex doing, what's going on, just wanted to share. I mean, this is really cool. 1,000 new customers. We've seen over 7.5 million workflow instances running in Office 365 alone. That's a lot of workflows. That's a lot of business processes being automated. That's a lot of things being done right, being done well, being doing good, and using the global leader in workflow. I can say that. But no, that's something that's huge, and we're excited about that. We've also been working on a lot of different products. One of the main products that we've been working on is around obviously the workflow cloud. So providing that Nintex workflow cloud. So providing that as a tool to get you away from necessarily SharePoint, doing things, extending your systems beyond SharePoint. We've accomplished. So really excited about that. I am getting a glare from something. Give me 1 second to kind of change this. We'll see how this works. Woo. All right, let's see if that helped out a little bit more. No, not really. Actually, I did worse. This is funny. All right, but anyway, so yeah, this is what happens when you have sunlight directly into your view. Wow, that is super bright out there. And I see where that's coming from. Give me 1 second to change that. See if that worked. Okay, cool. So you all probably can't see very interesting glare. So there we go. All right. So that's something that happened. We've had a lot of people come through certifications, getting certified, etc. So really excited about all the different things that's going within the company. I want to share some numbers and things that Jeff Deeper actually gave us on SharePoint, which is pretty cool. So let's see, how do I actually say some of these numbers? 9 out of the 10 best intranets are built on SharePoint, so that's something to know. We need more workflows in those. You need to be using workflow within that. And then we've also seen, as well as 1 million plus developers have been using it. And then they have a human organizations utilize SharePoint. So Microsoft's actually recognized this as being something that's huge, something that's important, very valuable, and they want to do the thing is they want you and I to embrace this as well. Roadmap and opportunity, something else that you should probably hear about from this is coming from Microsoft. This isn't like technically brand new. A lot of the stuff was stated during the future of SharePoint message as well, but file sharing and collaboration is one of their focuses. Mobile and intelligent intranet, business application, and hybrid. So being able to support business processes across the board with that. So those are some things that are there. Also wanted to recognize some winners in the different systems. Well, not winners, I'm sorry. Definitely not the winners, but recognize like some of our partners that have been doing some things. So if you hear of any of these partners, these are people that you should definitely look out for, look into, find out what they're doing and how you can do something. They're really good at what they do, and we've been seeing a lot out of them lately. Protivity, eBiz, Evolve, Udesic, Oakton, IntelliJ, Theobald, TSG, Portal Solutions, Avtix, DataPoint Solutions, NetWoven, Celgo, Diademus, Synergy IT, Evolusis. I've actually done a lot with Evolusis. The Exchange, one of their team members, Carolyn Young, who's also VTE. Much thanks, shout out to you all. Evolusis out there in Switzerland. They're huge partner, definitely a value add for what they can do. Some other ones: Aptera, Altravis, Total eBiz Solutions, Proactive, Modern.work, Skyline, some other ones. I'm just naming off a group of partners that have really done a lot over the past year, something that I want more customers, more people to be aware of. IOZ, Point Taken, Shellsoft, Fusion, Kazan, Grupo Babel. Let's see here, who else? Altravis, I think I said them already. Sharepoint, Rephrase, Diversis, Markham, Empired, Dev Facto, DocPoint Solutions, I think I said them, Auto Content, and Exceed, InfoShare, and Hans Vision. So just to name a few, these are some partners that were recognized for their exceptional work in that partner ecosystem. So really appreciate all that they've been doing as well. Thank you all for what you all been doing. Just want to definitely give you all a shout out. I can't mention Live Tiles is a partner that we've been working with. We have an integration with LiveTile. So if you ever wanted an intranet or you had an intranet that you've been working on, and this is a plug. I'm not going to say shameless, but this is definitely a plug. It's a plug because I'm actually about to use them, so it's a plug for a very good reason. No, but if you ever wanted an internet, you wanted a design or a UI design that was really great, nice, that was SharePoint but didn't really look like SharePoint, or that allowed your users to kind of utilize SharePoint more effectively from an intranet or branding perspective, I would recommend going to LiveTiles at livetiles.nyc. Great partner. They have a fantastic product and you'll be seeing some more integration stuff coming out of them within the next couple of months. We actually have an integration that was previewed previewed at WPC around being able to kick off a form and a workflow right from a task. I mean, from a tile. So that's something that's really cool, and we're working to do a little bit more things with that. So really excited about that, and what that has to offer. So I do want to show this, if I can do this. How do I do this without doing that? Give me 1 second. I want to show you something that I thought was pretty cool. Alon, our CTO, presented some of this during the conference or during his session, and it was actually pretty nice to show where we're aiming at and what we're doing and kind of where things are going. So if you give me a second, I'm going to talk to this, and then we'll jump into some other things. But again, part of this is actually to do this preview. Let's see here. Can I do that? Let's see here. I'll share that. All right, cool. So, so this is one of the slides I wanted to show, and what this does is, this gives you kind of an overview of where Nintex is heading, what we're aiming to do, what we're trying to accomplish, and how you can be a part of it. More importantly, the how you can be a part of it. So at the bottom we have we have what we consider like these systems of record per se, or these systems where data is stored. NetSuite, Workday, Salesforce, SAP, Dropbox, Oracle, LinkedIn, Box, Microsoft Dynamics, SharePoint. These are these systems that a lot of people have come to say, you know what, I trust my data here, I trust my content here, etc. This is my valid system. And out of that, you have a lot of users saying, how do I get information back and forth out of these systems? How do I process my data? How do I ensure that when I'm working with this, I can do some kind of automation from this system, etc. And one of the things that we've done is we've said, hey, we can connect you to these systems. Our current products do this today. This is not something that's out of the ordinary. If you want to connect to any of the systems and use them, our current product actually does that pretty easily. So that's pretty cool. As you move up, what we've done is we've brought in connectors, document generation. We have the designer, obviously, mobile, and then a form. So this is the workflow platform that we currently have today that allows you, if you want to, suck information out of any of these systems, bring them together with workflow. So you can design your workflow. Obviously, that's where the designer comes from. We have a state-of-the-art designer that allows you to do that. No text. You can do it with drag and drop, as most of you all know. And the mobile forms gives you the forms rather gives you the capability of getting input from your users to combine with the workflow to actually run that process. So document generation, the awesome piece about that, gives you the ability to, so that is right, if I can get my mouse over there. Here we go. So right here you have the document generation piece. That's something that enables you as a user, as a process manager, someone that's owning the process, to actually go in and automate that information being put into some kind of document. And this is a pretty sweet tool. And I say that because I've used it. I said it because I've seen it in action, and the power of being able to produce documents on the fly is something that is like, man, it's revolutionary compared to what we used to do in business processes. Also, it takes a lot of burden off of doing a lot of printing and stuff like that. You just have it automated, so you know that the information being pulled together is the latest and greatest, etc. And it's really awesome to use. So something that you got to look at. Mobile gives us the ability to do the offline caching and all this stuff with the mobile forms, which is another great feature. And there's a lot of stuff that's being enhanced from that with dual sign-in accounts, etc. So you can actually connect to multiple tenants, whether you're on-prem on 365, and utilize your mobile device to interact and input data again. So these are things that are benefits to our workflow platform that enables you as a user to use them even better. And then we get into the Nintex Exchange. One of the things that I am super proud about, help bring that one to fruition, is around just being able to share a lot of the stuff that you can use within a platform. We can share that now. So giving you the ability to kind of surface, here's a best practice, here's something that I built and I developed, gives you the exchange you can load it in there, you can share, you can find something. You're doing a lot of stuff around custom code development as well, giving you the ability to kind of enhance and improve what you currently have. So those are some things that are in Exchange. And then going into Hawkeye. Hawkeye is something that's brand new. We're releasing that at the end of the month. And that's something that allows you to do analytics. As the name suggests, Hawkeye Analytics, but it's analytics around the first one is usage lens. So what, the basic, what's going on in your platform from a workflow perspective? How many workflows are you running? And some basic things around that. And then it is going to go into more depth. We're going to release it with two lenses, the usage lens and the process lens. Process lens basically allows you to tag your workflow and then kind of see that measure come through. So we have both of those, and then from there we'll be doing some other lenses like inventory and some other things that are coming out. But we also want to encourage customers and partners. You can build your own lens. If you know Power BI, you can definitely build your own lens and then have other people actually utilize that lens potentially to see their own workflows as well. So just a lot of things coming from there. But the goal of the workflow as a service is to make it shareable, reusable, and embeddable. So, and that's something that I wanted to hone in there because it's pretty awesome to see working, and something that definitely I think is going to be beneficial as people start to use workflows as a service more. So really excited about that. Just wanted to go through that really brief and talk about it because I'm excited about it. It's been a lot going on, and definitely something that I think you should be excited about as well. Why? Because that's just how we roll. Um, and I'm also looking at doing a couple of different things. But those will be coming up soon. Got some new things. But I'm curious also, as many of you all watch the Hangouts. Most of my audience doesn't watch it live because one thing or another. And I'm appreciative of everyone that's watching it. But please do send me some emails or comments about it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Hangouts, how the format of the structure is of the Hangout, and if you have any questions, anything that I can answer live, I would be more than happy to. I would say try to stump me, but don't try to stump me because that's not fun. But no, I won't pretend to know everything, but I do my best to definitely get as much answers or get as many things answered as possible. So really interested in seeing how we can work together on that. So with that being said, something that's really cool is coming out is, something that we just released actually is Nintex for SharePoint 2016. So because I did something, if I can get a second to find out where I am. 1 second, publish that one. I'm going to find this because why? I wrote it. So I definitely want to find what I wrote. Let's see here. And let's share this. Let's see here. Where it is. There we go. And we do have an announcement that I can make because why? It's so much fun. All right, cool. So I wrote this, and therefore I want to go through it so that you know what it is. Where? There we go. Nope. I want to share screen too. Let's just do that. All right, so present to everyone. All right, cool. So on this it was released last week. I want to say it was last week or at least the week before last. It was last week. The 11th was last week. So it was released last week. Nintex for SharePoint 2016. Awesome. I'm not going to read through this entire thing. Go read it. Find out what's the latest and greatest. What was released. What updates were changed. There's a UI change that happened. It's awesome. Actually, what I'm going to endeavor to do is actually use the 2016 build to showcase some new things as I build out some stuff. External starts in there. It's a host of things that we've done. You got to go find out. You got to go check it out. Read this blog and definitely let me know your thoughts on it. Super excited about that. Along with a lot of other things, but no, definitely 2016 is out. It's a refresh on the product. For people that have been around Nintex for a while, you'll notice that there's some things that we've done differently. So excited about that, and really excited to see how we could leverage the UI changes and things to make it even better and easier for you to build more workflows, to do more things, etc. So it's just something like, man, it's awesome. This is why I do my job. This is why I love what I do, is because we innovate and we can create things to help people do things better and easier, and that's satisfying. That's just hugely satisfying. Um, Within that, I mean, some of the other things that we've done. So the central administration improvements on it, the improved toolbox, external start. There's an integration for Hawkeye coming on that. Online help, that's something that I want to mention. So we're integrating help. We're trying to find a better ways to just do a lot of things. And as the company grows, we're growing. As the product's growing, we're growing. And trying to find ways to surface up the information so that you can find exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for it. So the help is one of those things that we've figured out ways to integrate our online help or make help online. So if you have Nintex for SharePoint 2016 on server, you click on the help, it actually open up some things in context. So it's kind of cool, and we're consistently building that as well. So definitely want to look out for that. Some other things to note that we are working to scale more globally. And so we're opening up more data centers. Not say more data centers. We are strategically placing data centers. The latest data center that went live was in Australia. And so that's something that with data sovereignty being one of those things that's constantly on the radar for a lot of organizations, we are working to work with you to ensure that you have that. And there is a cost that comes with that. Obviously, there's a cost with anything, but if you have any questions about it, please, if you're a customer, reach out to your territory manager or your partner. If you're a partner, reach out to your territory manager and ask questions about it. They'll definitely be able to answer more questions about that, but wanted to let you know that as a global company, we are thinking globally from a global perspective of how do we offer better service, better performance for different things. And so around that, providing the data centers gives us the ability to leverage that closer to where you may be in the world. So that's a really cool thing there. Going through a couple of things here. Oh, something two really cool things that happened. Document generation for Office 365 is coming. Actually, not coming. It's already there. I'm kidding. But we've also released the Adobe E Signs. So for people that are, I mean, Adobe Sign. So for people that are using Adobe, you now have the ability to do Adobe Sign. We also have other e-signature options or digital signature options such as DocuSign. There's a tech partner, eSign Live, that is working on their integration currently as well. So we're looking for to give you the ability. We don't want to say, hey, you have to use DocuSign or have to use Adobe Sign. We say we want you to use the workflow and use whatever document signature process that you're most comfortable with or the one that you've adopted into your organization. eSign Live is actually FedRAMP certified, so that's one of those things. If you're a federal organization and you're wanting to take you want to take advantage of the signature process, kind of use signature or electronic signatures within your current processes. We do have one, and like I said, we're working on integration with them now to be completed hopefully within the next month or so. There's some testing that has to be done. I'm actually working on some of that, so that's the reason why I know it. But those are things that we want you to have what you need to be able to connect. You can create your own if you wanted to. Ideally, I wouldn't recommend that because there's a lot of validation and verification on who the person is, et cetera, keeping things encrypted and secured. So a lot of that stuff goes into place, but we have partners that we are working with now to provide you with the best solutions possible to fit your needs and your process and your governance and compliance standards. So really glad that that's coming off. Really glad to see those things happening as well. Mentioned some stuff about mobile enterprise, so that's there. I'm just looking through a couple of things really quick as well to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, migration. So that's something else that I do want to mention as well. Been hearing a lot about migration. I'm actually working on some stuff dealing with migration as well. We have several migration partners, Metalogics, AvePoint, which is the DocAv piece. We also have ShareGate, which is a partner of ours. So those are, and Dell has one. I believe Dell still has a migration thing for Nintex workflow. One of the things that I want to mention about the workflow is understanding the context for the migration. There's different terms, and I'm actually, like I said, I'm working on part of that process now. dealing with kind of the terminology and everything else. But when it comes to migration as a whole, want to list a couple of things that you have, like the workflow design. And what that is that, okay, here's the design of the workflow you want to move, just the design, like how it's laid out in the UI, some basic configuration. You want to move that across. That's called a workflow design migration. If you want the workflow context, meaning the list, the workflow history, any tasks that were associated with it. One thing to note about workflow tasks when you're doing a migration, they have to be completed. They either have to be stopped or completed, or not started. They can't be in a pending or in progress. They have to be stopped, and that's actually a requirement from SharePoint. You can't have data in process because you can't physically move that over, so you have to actually complete the workflow task on those. But that's workflow in context. That's the SharePoint list, the workflow itself, any approvers, any tasks, anything that's relative to that. That will be the context of the workflow that you're trying to migrate. Then you have workflow upgrades, and that's when you're moving from one version of Nintex to another. So like version 1.1 to version 2.0 or whatever. So it's a version upgrade of the workflow design, and there's some things that are important to that because it has to do with the database schemes as well, and that's something that actually has been updated. We've updated some stuff within our forms product over the past month that actually been released, and we did some database schema updates. So that would be an upgrade of the workflow or the form design. And then we have workflow conversion, and this is the one that a lot of people mistake for migration. When going from, so a workflow migration is within the same, I would say, the same platform. So you have SharePoint server to SharePoint server. That is a workflow migration. You're just moving it from one to another. When you look at the .NET framework behind it, you go from a 3.5 to a 4.5, I believe it is, when you get up into Office 365. Those are different platforms, and therefore a lot of people getting confused, like, hey, why can't I just easily move this over from on-prem to 365, etc. It's like you're actually moving to two different code frameworks. A lot of things are similar, but a lot of things aren't similar in how some things are actually being managed. Another thing that's being leveraged there is the workflow manager versus so the workflow manager is being different as well. So those are just some things behind the scenes to be aware of. But when you go from on-prem to 365, we consider that as something that you'll see something coming out soon for me on that, is a workflow conversion. And the reason for that is that the workflow actually needs to be converted to the new .NET framework so that it'll run in the Office 365. That's really important. It's really important so that it runs there, but it's also important because it allows that to actually manifest itself correctly. And there's some other things with the XML changing, but that's workflow conversion. And the workflow conversion is taking the design and settings and putting them from one platform to another. It's important to understand that because with that, oftentimes what we've seen is a lot of people just want it. Hey, I have this thing working over here. I want it over there. And there's no easy way to do that. I mean, you can do a lot of XML transformation. You can use our migration partners to potentially do some of that. But there are some things that just aren't available from 365 that are available on-prem because they do the same thing differently, again, because of the .NET framework and some other things. As a result of what I've seen and what I would recommend is kind of a three-phased approach. When you're looking at migrating, take a look at what is possible inside of the two different options, on-prem and 365, and look at doing one or two things. You can either repair or prepare your workflow beforehand to be migratable, meaning that you go in and you detach it from things that are just available on-prem, and you prepare the workflow to be ready for 365. That way it's a seamless conversion over. You can do that. You can use a tool such as ShareGate, MetaLogix, AvePoint, or Dell that will do a base conversion for you, meaning it won't capture everything because everything may not be there depending on how complex your workflow is, but it will convert over and put it into a saved state. So you at least have your workflows and your context, meaning the SharePoint list and library and all that stuff, moved over into Office 365. But that leads you to the next piece of it. You still have to do some kind of fixing on that workflow once it gets in Office 365. And that's not a bad product design, as a lot of people like to say, oh, Nintex doesn't do this and this and this. It's not a product design. That's actually SharePoint doing a lot of the stuff, and us operating within the realms of what Microsoft gives us as far as my workflow capabilities, and understanding that those are two different platforms. So getting that over there, rebuilding that workflow into the new .NET framework allows you to then quickly publish and continue on your way. So the three would be prepare it beforehand, so pre-preparation, migrate as is, and then the other one would be post fix or post conversion, where you're actually converting it on the fly. Actually, sorry, I messed that up. Is prepare beforehand, so you will build it with the intent that it will migrate, understanding that you will use a product to migrate it, or you just design it from scratch inside of 365. And the reason for that is sometimes it's actually easier to take your on-prem instance, look at it, and then in the 365 just start clicking and actually dragging and dropping to get that design there. You'll notice that you can't actually import from on-prem to 365 because of the framework differences and also the file differences as well. So just some stuff on that. That was a lot. But something that I think is necessary as we continue to move forward and get more people utilizing 365. You get the latest and greatest, you get all the new features, etc. But understanding that there is a difference, there is a different feature set that's rich on-prem that you don't have available in 365, and part of that's because we can actually install directly on the server. With 365, we don't have that option because of Microsoft managing the back-end servers, etc. So a lot of stuff I just said. Let's do a quick recap real quick, and then we'll go into the next piece of that. Partner Day was really good. WPC, awesome, fantastic. Listed a bunch of partners that you should get in contact with and find out more about. If you go to nintex.com, go to the partner page and click find a partner, you'll see a really cool, slick tool that the partner teams put together. Much kudos to them for that. You can sort by category, filter by different categories, industries, etc., to find partners in your area, partners that you may be interested in. If you're a customer, if you're partners, leveraging other partners to do things, grow your ecosystem, etc., those are things that are available. We've had the 2016 release. We got Hawkeye coming at the end of the month, and that segues into the next part of this that I want to talk about, which is an update that came out today. Is that today? That is today. It came out today, and it's something that you all should be super duper excited about, because why? It's been we've heard about it a lot. You've been asking for it, and we've done it. So I mean, what more can I say? In Office 365 Nintex Forms, we have finally uh made some corrections to the lookup runtime function. Drum roll, please. Like, this is big. This is a big deal. Pardon me, I had to take something to drink. But this is a big deal. And the reason why this is a big deal is because so many people use the lookup function. I mean, the lookup function in Forms is so important. But thanks to Sean for putting together the blog for us. I'm going to read through some of the blog because I want you to know just how cool it is. You've seen it before, you potentially have seen it, but the ability for the lookup, it gives you the ability to actually capture the data and represent that into the form. So I'm not going to read through everything, but this is really cool because I mean, you have a list. You can basically start using your list to populate pieces into your form, and then pulling that through via calculated column. And the lookup function basically gives you that column. It's so cool. I used this. I did a demo of this, I think, on 2 or 3 Hangouts ago. That was really great. And what it allows you to do is pull in information automatically, and then based on that, it lets you kind of connect the dots for people. So you have an item, you want them to fill out information, they click on it, and they say, okay, based on this information, here's some auxiliary information, or here's some additional information to confirm that this is what you were selecting, and this is what you want, or this is what you need. So really good, really useful, and super easy to use. Let's actually see, I have 365 loaded. So give me 1 second to do that. Where is it when I need it? Here we go. Let's see if I can pull this over. Alrighty. So something else I wanted to note really quick. We've also so we're doing stuff behind the scenes and you don't even know it. It's great. No, we're also giving you the ability to open task forms in edit mode. So this is something when you log into 365, you'll see it. And this is something that will also be coming back down to on-prem at some point in the future. But usually if you're working with forms, you'll notice that, hey, I click on the task form, I create a task, and I got to double click to get into it and open up to edit it. Well, now you have the option of just going ahead and opening it up in edit mode. I'm going to try and find one because I want to show you what this looks like. Something brand new. If you click on a task, oh, let me make sure I'm actually sharing this. And I don't think I am because I clicked on the wrong thing. Give me 1 second. Where's my Hangout? Where did it go? Let's go stop sharing. Give me 1 second because I am running a bunch of different screens. All right, here we go. I need to share my desktop. Why not? Share. All right, cool. So that is working now. So give me a second to bring my other screen back down to there. Oop. There we go. All right, cool. So right here, the assign a task. So you want to come in here, you can create your task, title, and everything. If you keep scrolling down, right under lazy approval, which is an awesome feature, by the way, we now have the ability, by default, new workflows. After this, when you create and publish new workflows, they will automatically pick up the new setting to open a task form in edit mode. This helps you to pretty much open it directly in edit mode instead of having to click open the form in view mode and then click edit. What we have done as well, and bear with us on this, but what we've done as well is we haven't retrofitted this into other workflows. And the reason for that is a lot of people have done, and I've done it as well, done some workarounds within the workflow to get it to open in edit mode using a link, etc. And we didn't want to break that experience. However, if you want to take advantage of the new feature inside of 365, simply log into your workflow and just open it up. You should see this new setting right here, and then just select edit mode, save, and republish the workflow. What that does is it'll generate a new instance of the workflow with that new setting, and it will take an effect. If you have other instances that are already running or in progress, they will complete on the old instance. However, any new item that is generated or that's created will take up the new setting for the task. So you can do that inside of the assign a task. You can also do that, I believe, inside of the start a task process. Let me not speak too soon, and let me confirm that. I believe it is. Yep, it is there. So both the task processes are there. Allows you to open or create a task in edit mode for your users. I'm actually going to look for something because I saw a question. Oh, I don't see it here, which is interesting. There was a question in the community around, here it is, user interaction. Okay, so it's on-prem. There was a question in the community around the request data action and some of the things with the form. And on that, I definitely want to do some testing. But here's two things here that if you're using the product, either assign a task or start a task, you now have the ability to open it up in edit mode, which is pretty darn cool. All right, so let's leave that and let me jump into, I'm in incognito mode, which is not a bad thing, but hopefully this doesn't mess up anything either. Hey, look at that, the new designer piece for document libraries. Thanks, Microsoft. Really appreciate it. I'm just kidding. All right, so within forms, we were talking about before the lookup feature, right? So lookup feature has been revamped. All right, so if I can find my lookup, let's look up. Nope, no, not let's look up. It's a lookup runtime feature. So the way that I would do that would be to get a calculated field here, and let's see. how do I want to do this? Because I need an example. Let's see if Sean gave me an example that I can follow really quickly. I think he did. Thanks, Sean. All right, so we have an inventory list, and I want to have item name, and the item name is pulling general. Let's see here, item name. Okay, so let me see if I can do this really quick. I'm going to create a choice column. Let's actually do some manipulation. Doing this on the fly is not always the best thing, but hey, they don't pay us nothing for no reason. We're experts for something. List, do a drop down list connected to, I don't want to do that. I want to do a list lookup. This is what I want to do. Delete that. So this is what I want here. And I want to connect this to, let's edit this one. And list test. I'm going to connect it to there for grins. I'm going to do the child list. Actually, let's do product list. Source view, none. Title, allow multiple. Nope. ID connected to title. Let's see if that works. All right. So now I pulled the title. I want to then pull in, and the formula is pretty easy. If you look at runtime functions, and let's see if we can find lookup in here. There it is. It gives you an example of what it's asking for. So it needs to list title separated by a comma, the column to filter on separated by a comma, the value to filter on, and then the output column. So let's see if we can get this thing right. So let's do lookup at the list title, which is product list, comma, the column to filter on. We'll do description. I want to say that's in there. I should know this stuff by now. Description. And I believe that the quotation marks are important. Let me actually just do this for my own sanity. To be able to log into that and find the product list, site contents. Product list is somewhere around here. Product list, there we go. So I'm going to pull unit price. How about that? So unit underscore price. Make sure that's correct. Unit underscore price, that's what it looks like. I want to filter on the ID column and the output column. Value to filter on is ID and the output column. Oh, that's interesting. I think this is actually supposed to be title. I've done this before, and I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. We'll find out in a second, right? So let's do that. All right, let's see here. Calculate on view mode, that's fine. Not connected, doesn't matter. That's good. Prefix. Actually, let's see if I can give that a, oops, it's supposed to be a $sign there. All right, let's see what happens here. Hope I did that correctly. Oh, this is the fun part of actually doing anything is you get to do experiment. So select the value, Monday morning class, and let's see what happens on this. Well, actually, that's interesting because I don't see that in here. So I'm not even selecting the right list. I wonder if it took the child list and it didn't change over. Just give me 1 second. Nope. That's interesting. Where did that value come from? Let's try this again. Ah, it's list tests. Okay, that's correct. Parent list. Oh, so there we go. There we go. Let's try that again. That was interesting. Let's see if this works now. So select the value here. Hey, it doesn't like that. Let's try this. So make sure everything's good. Unit price. I'm going to actually check this out to make sure that I'm using the right thing. Unit price is correct and it's a currency. It should work. Did I reset something here? Product list, title, allow multiple values not connected. That's correct. ID to connect to. Let's just do that. Save. When in doubt, just continue to play around with this thing until it gets right. Ooh, that's a little interesting. It has a little spinner on it, so I'm wondering what that is doing as well. Oh, you know what? This is something I should have known. Running incognito mode does something really weird to the space. So give me 1 second. Actually, let's do this and I'll switch my screens. So sorry about that. Should have had an example ready, and I didn't, but it's good because we can flow with it, right? Let's do that. All right, so let's try this again. If I can remember my password. Awesome, I remembered it on the first go. Good job. Doesn't matter, just need a, oops, not what I wanted. I need a regular list. And Nintex forms. And let's just make sure I was doing this. So not connected is right, and then lookup control item. List title, column to filter on, value to filter on, and output. Column and value, okay. Let's try this again. So let's do up that. I want product list, doesn't matter, title, give me that, and list. Yes. And save. And then give me a calculated column, calculated field, and let's try this again. Let's see here. All right. So it gave me all of this. So the list title, column to filter on, title, value to filter on, ID, and output column, unit price, underscore price. See, that works. Save, preview. And this should work. I want to read what did he do on his. I think I didn't do that one right. All right, let's see if this worked, and if not, it's not giving me my drop down. That's actually one problem that I need to resolve. Why is it not giving me my values? Text connected to title. That should be good to go. It's not even giving me my values there, so that's actually my first problem. I've done this before, and it worked fine. So maybe doing something slightly wrong. But anyways, the lookup value is there. Yeah, I'm not doing something right on my setup on that. So that's actually interesting. But lookup value there, that's something that's pretty cool to have as well. And what it does is allows you to do that lookup. I want to play around with that because there's something that I'm not doing right, and I'm slightly confused as why I'm not doing that right. But anyways, um, such is life. and such is life. So such is life. So it's one of those things that happens when you try to do stuff. No big deal. All right. So with that, trying to think, was there was something else I was supposed to mention to you all today? Um, there was a new feature, new release. Oh yes, can't forget that at all, can I? So one of the things that I am doing, I am starting to put together a build for a an exchange asset. So yes, clap your hands. Excuse me. If I can find it. So there's an exchange asset that I am working on, and I want to build it from scratch with you during the Hangouts. I'll be using Nintex for SharePoint 2016. I also want to do a comparative one inside of Office 365 as well. And so bear with me on that as I attempt to start that. It will be around IT asset management, which is one of the scenarios that we have seen people kind of take and build other stuff with. I'm actually trying to find it now. We've seen a lot of people trying to build some things with it. So or build similar things. You're wanting to manage either assets, computers, and things like that, or you're managing other pieces of equipment and things like that. Just a scenario to showcase how to do it inside of the workflow in the form. Using a lot of really complex things that actually utilize the lookup function, which is weird. So that's one reason why I know it does work. I'll actually be releasing that as an update with the ebook as well. So that'll be something that's out there. Really glad to have that update coming also. And so I'll be walking through that. Um, and what it'll do is give you the ability to see how to combine some assets from Exchange. So this will be loaded up in the Nintex Exchange as well, but allow you to combine some assets from Exchange and utilize those when it comes to trying to build a solution, kind of showing how to do that really quickly and easily. So something that I think would be really cool and want to have a cross reference between SharePoint on-prem and 365, so kind of showing the mix between the two and how that is accomplished. So that's my game plan for at least the next two Hangouts. Super excited about that. I'm super about a lot of things. No, but really excited about that because it'll showcase kind of that building aspect of it, solving some solution issues, but then also how to do some of those things. Something else that'll be coming up, we'll be looking at. We will be starting, or if you've heard of Nintex Workflow Cloud, there's some stuff coming out about that soon. We're there's how do I say this? Um, we're looking to start up the beta program or the preview program relatively soon. So if you're interested in it, definitely reach out to myself. I'll get you in contact with the right people to get signed up for that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And we're excited about seeing what happens with that space, being able to build out different scenarios and things. If you have a project, a real project, or something that's saying, you don't want SharePoint workflow, but you want to utilize workflow and still do automation, whether it goes to Salesforce, goes to NetSuite, goes to Dropbox, go to Box, go to Google, leverages Google Maps, GPS, IoT device, things like that. Let me know. Email me, eric.harris@nintex.com, or on the community, eharris04. Hit me up on Twitter @eharris04. Let me know. Would love to get in contact with you, figure out what your use case is, what you're trying to do and automate, and how potentially the Nintex Workflow Cloud can be utilized for that. I've been playing around with a lot of people internally, been playing around with it as part of two different programs, and I must say I'm hoping that I can actually utilize it to automate some things in my house. So that's the gamut of it. That's the potential that it has. So workflow as a service, being able to leverage those things. So really excited about that. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for paying attention to what we've been doing as a company. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Hawkeye at the end of the month will be here. So here's a rundown. Hawkeye's coming. Nintex 2016 is already here. Exchange launched earlier this year. We have mobile updates that are happening. Nintex Forms and Workflow for 365 got a new update as well this month. Nintex Mobile has some other updates coming also. We have new feature releases from a lot of our partners, enhancing, taking what you're looking for and bundling it into a solution that you can then actually utilize really quickly, getting you off the ground without having to do a lot of the build. So a lot of stuff that's happening as well. Partners, reach out to your territory managers for more information about different things that have been happening. And customers, take a look at the community. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to myself or any other the members on the community that are employees of Nintex to let us know what your questions are and how we can help. We also understand we released a new subscription pricing model, and we know that it's not the perfect solution for every scenario, but give us an opportunity to work with you on that. We've heard a lot of good feedback from people. If you're an existing customer, please reach out to your territory manager and your partner on that so that they can help you structure the deal correctly. And if you're a new customer, if you're someone that's interested in Nintex, please by all means reach out to us. Let us know. We'll be glad to help you out. This isn't a sales pitch. This is something I want to get more workflows into your hands. I want to get more capabilities into your hands so that you can do more with it. And I'm excited to see what you can build with it, what we can build together. I want to see this like Uber workflow thing happen, where we're just sharing data, sharing how you build process, how do you connect systems, doing all that so that it makes things more efficient, more productive, a lot faster and easier. So really, really keen to see that come through in the next couple of months. But until then, stay tuned. I'll be here at the beginning of August. So the first and third Wednesdays is when I do the Hangouts with more updates. We'll actually have some things to show you that'll be really cool. So I'm not going to say any more about that. But really excited about it, and hope to see you again next time. Again, if you have any questions, any updates, any comments, let me know. Shoot me a tweet or email me. Really keen to understand, how do you like the format? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Do you want me to build something crazy and weird, solve a problem, whatever? Let me know. Really glad to see that stuff come through. Thanks for all the comments and stuff as well. Exciting times here at Nintex, and looking forward to, we just started our new fiscal. So we're actually into Q1 of fiscal 17, even though this is still the last half of 2016. But really excited to see what comes out, what gets ramped up, and looking forward to serving you again for another year in Nintex, and looking forward to just solving more problems with you as well. So until next time, take care. Be good, be safe, and definitely be safe out there. Prayer for all those people in the different countries being attacked by people, senseless violence and terrorism. We're fortunate things, hopefully we can get to a day where everyone sees each other as equal. But that's not work, that's just social. Definitely respect your neighbors, respect mankind, and let's do work to get things done, to get things better. So hey, why not automate a lot of stuff so you have more time to actually enjoy with your family and friends, and enjoying life versus just working. So with that being said, thanks again, and look forward to being with you again next time on the Nintex Hangout. All right, bye.